know about you lot, but the last few days or international break have felt like a bit of a death march, really, where there's something grim and gloomy coming up at the end of it, but it's just taken a very, very long time, and nothing gets resolved until then. Because there have been a lot of stories, a lot of rumours, some of which I do think are true. Just because it's speculation doesn't mean it's false. I do believe that Nicholas Füllkrug regrets moving to England and misses Germany. I would accept that. I would also accept that Guido Rodríguez has probably appreciated and realised that he did the wrong move by coming to East London rather than staying in Spain. But none of this stuff gets resolved until we find out what's happening with Julian Lopetegui. So yesterday, and this is no surprise at all, because I spoke about last couple of days about felt like rats deserting a sinking ship. I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's more, by the way. I wouldn't be at all surprised if somebody said, oh, by the way, Edson Alvarez wants out in the January transfer window. That'd be no surprise at all. Not that anything's been said, but it just wouldn't surprise me. Kudus moving on, be it in the January window or in next summer, again, wouldn't surprise me. But none of this stuff gets resolved. Now, there is a way to keep some of these players, and that's by a new coach coming in, playing better, and move up the league. All of a sudden, the club, the players, the manager, you, me, we all become a little bit happier. But the one that I don't want to overly talk about it for too long, but the one about Luis Guilherme is basically talking about him in the Brazilian media, saying maybe you'd be better off going back there. Now, there is one player who I just think, just keep your powder dry, mate. Don't make any decisions yet. Because when I look around the Premier League and I look at some of these sort of younger coaches, not just younger coaches, a lot of the coaches, they will play younger players. And maybe in a slow team like West Ham, maybe he wouldn't even start, but there would be a coach who would regularly see the benefit of bringing a fast, tricky Brazilian off the bench and playing him. So I'm not sure how much benefit there is for Guilherme himself for going back to Brazil. He knows he can do it in Brazil. He knows he can play there. He'd almost be better off. Maybe a new coach comes in and says, right, I'll use you next season, but I'll put you into the Championship for now, and then you can go and flourish there. Because I do believe there'd be the possibility that he goes to the Championship and is one of the best players there. That would be really good for the next 6 months. I just think, again, that gets answered when we know what Lopetegui's future is. I think if he knows that Lopetegui's staying for the next year and a half, then I wouldn't blame him thinking, like, I've got to get out of here, do you know what I mean, and do something else. Which brings me on to Rodríguez, and probably the biggest, most important part of the video is that basically a top ranking official at West Ham yesterday basically said, look, we're willing to let him go in January, Rodríguez, we are, but this was not a free transfer. Because he was a Bosman signing, got a big signing on fee, and his agent got a big fee as well for facilitating the deal. This was not a free transfer. So the club will be willing to let him go in January, but what they're not prepared to do in the meantime is lose out on that money. Now, I don't know what it is. They're not going to talk figures, but let's just suggest he got a £2 million signing on fee and the agent got £1 million. I could be really close or I could be a million miles away. It's probably not that far, but the club want to get that money back, and understandably so. So I think what they're saying is, look, if Real Betis want to come and get him, we're not prepared to lose out all of that money. It's all very well the player turning around and saying, well, I'll take less wages. I think he might be on something like 70 grand a week at West Ham and he was on 35 grand a week, and he might be willing to tear up his contract and say, I'll take the 35 again. But West Ham is still out of pocket to the tune of whatever, 3, 4 million, 5 million, whatever it might be. So I think very much West Ham are saying to Betis, well, give us the money, give us that as a transfer fee, give us a couple of million, and you can have him. So I think that's I think that's sensible as well. I think that makes absolute sense. You can't allow yourself as a club for everybody to start pulling your pants down. Speaking of which, no, it's not. I'm not going to try and sell you any pants. Although we probably would have. I mean, do you like this? This is the hoodie version, by the way. HammersChatStore.com. Go and check it out. I had I don't know, it was a sweater, the jumper version, the turtleneck, whatever it was. That was yesterday. We don't have pants currently. No Hammers Chat West Ham pants currently on the line. Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola has apparently put an end to any West Ham interest in James McAtee. Now, McAtee was obviously on loan last season at Sheffield United. Impressed, played well against West Ham, didn't he? And there was talk that he might get loaned out again in this season, but Pep kept him on. He's not played very many times, but they've had some injuries in midfield. Obviously, I think De Bruyne might have just come back. I know Rodri's injured for the whole season. I know they don't play in the same position as McAtee, but they brought Gundogan back. But apparently Pep Guardiola has said, no, we're not going to let him go. And the reason that's important was because West Ham were rumoured with a bid of possibly £20 million for the midfielder. Where we would get that money from, I don't know. And in many respects, it's not a priority position. I did the video with Gio the other day, and it was a bit of a fun video, which 3 positions. Well, I thought it was 3 positions, but Gio read it was one of the questions from one of you fine subscribers who basically said, "Nay, mate, you could buy a player, transfer, loan a player, and bring one from the academy." I thought 3 different positions. Gio went all one position. But it turned out all my positions were the spine of the team. It was central midfield, it was attacking midfield, and it was striker. And obviously, McAtee could play, in the middle there as an attacking midfielder, no problem at all. But I still think the striker and probably an athletic midfielder are the most important areas of the pitch. So he'd certainly be somebody that we should be looking at, no doubt about that at all. And even before this speculation, Gio had said over on his video, we did one the other day, that would be one of that. I think that was either his transfer or his loan choice. So this was, 2 or 3 days that we recorded that video before the speculation even came out. So I know very much that he would like him. That would certainly tickle his fancy, so to speak. But hey, you've got to watch him. He wanted Danny Ings as well. I'm joking. He wanted the old Danny Ings, the one with the hair who was younger, and he didn't want this version of Danny Ings. He wanted Danny Ings, I think, when Liverpool was selling him. Anyway, I digress as usual. But anyway, Pep Guardiola said, no, you ain't having him. You ain't having McAtee. So we're going to have to find something else. I do think we're going to be doing business in this transfer window. I really, really do. I think we're going to be looking to bring in a couple of players. I think it's quite clear that there's going to be some players we're going to leave. I am. It's not my money. Do you know what I mean? It's not coming out of my pocket, but it's coming out of the West Ham pocket. And any losses we make are going to impact who we can bring in. So in that sense, I'm sort of crapping it a little bit with how much money we're going to lose on Nicholas Füllkrug. I think that is going to be not good at all. I've got a little puppy here. I'm going to show you now. Bless you. Thank you very much, everybody who's asked. Come here. He's a little bit. Excuse me. He's hitting the microphone. He's a little bit wet. Hello. He's a little bit wet. He's a little bit of a rascal. I think it's snowing loads of places in the country at the moment. Isn't it? It's snowing at the moment. We don't have the snow. We have we do sort of snow. It's just wet and clear version of it. All right. So he's growing. He's a cheeky boy, aren't you? A very, very cheeky boy. He's very lovely. He eats a lot. He bites a lot. I've brought so many toys in. He's trying to eat the microphone. I've brought so many toys into here to entertain him. Just Zippy, do you want to eat any of your toys? You don't, do you? Sorry, he doesn't like the way I'm holding him. I can hold him like this, which he quite likes that. There you go. I don't know if you can hear me on the microphone. Hopefully you can. I've got all these toys for him, and he doesn't want to play with them. All he wants to do is bite the chair. There you go. But we do have an abnormally large stick in here, which has remained largely unchewed. Anyway, right, so there you go. Rodríguez, we need a fee for him. The dog's chewing the chair again. McAtee, it looks like we're not going to get. I think Füllkrug's going to leave. I think Luis Guilherme should keep his powder dry and wait and see what happens at West Ham. And we've got loads of stuff in the Hammers Chat store, hammerschatstore.com. If you don't know what gifts to get a West Ham loved one, then go and check out the Hammers Chat store. If you want to be really, really funny and you've got a Tottenham Hotspur loved one, then still go to the Hammers Chat store and get. Why don't you go and get them a West Ham t-shirt?